Here we go, boots. I'm gonna invite you into my private collection. So you don't always have to buy boots for use. You can actually buy it for personality. You may be rough and rugged, go with an elephant boot. You may be a little bit girly, throw that in there. No shame in that. That's a little bit ornate. You may be a little bit more exotic. Not too many people have rattlesnake boots, right? People are always gonna wonder, what's that on your foot? And then you may just be classy and awesome. Full quill is perfect for that. These are my boots. I worked my way through college selling boots at Cavender's, and I quickly found out, being it was commission based, whatever I wear on my foot is what I would sell. So I invested in a pair of gator boots, and guess what? I sold gator boots. So you've got several different types of skins, all for a different reason. This side right here is all leather. Some of these are got some pretty cool patterns to them, whatever it is. These are dress boots because they've got a leather sole. Work boots will have a rubber sole, right? So you never wear a rubber sole to a dressy event. You always gotta wear a leather or a leather looking sole to be dressy. These are all the leathers. Next, you go into snake and lizard. So snake and lizard is a little fragile. You've got to make sure that you keep these conditioned with Big 4, that you don't ever be too rough with these boots because they can dry out and then the tops will just wear out. Snakes and lizard are the most fragile that you can have. I'll never wear these out at the ranch. I'll never wear these in the backyard. These are strictly just for quote unquote indoor use because these can get messed up really quickly. What you need for all your exotics is Big 4. If you keep these conditioned, then they won't dry out and they won't crack. These are gonna be the most fragile boots on the entire place. Paper thin, need to stay conditioned. Next, you've got ostrich. Ostrich boots are super soft, super comfortable, and pretty durable for a soft leather. The quills on the ostrich are from the back of the bird. There's a lot of imitation ostrich out there. You can tell they're imitation if you can't put your fingernail under the quill. If it's just a bump, it's not real. You've got to be able to lift that quill up and flick it. That means it's full quill. These are all full quill ostrich. You can get smooth quill, which is the belly that doesn't have the quills, and they're super soft. They're just as durable, they just don't have the bumps. Once again, you've got to keep these conditioned with Big 4 too. When you're buying full quill ostrich boots, or any ostrich boots for that matter, make sure they fit a little bit tight because the cool thing about the ostrich boots are they expand to the tight spots in your foot. So make sure that you put them on, they feel tight, put that Big 4 on them, and then wear them around to let that fit like a glove. If you see somebody that has a pair of full quill ostrich boots and they don't look tight and they look floppy, that's not the way you do it. You want to fit these tight. Probably the most comfortable boots that you have because, once again, they're going to fit like a glove. Next, you go to gaiters. Gaiters are somewhere in that middle of the road, right? Where they're not paper thin, they're not super soft, but they're not like elephant and stingrays. These are pretty durable. You still need to make sure you have Big 4 on them. You've got belly gaiter, and then you've got hornback gaiter. Once again, this is the back part of the caiman alligator or crocodile, and this is the belly part. So there's more belly than there is back part, so these tend to be a little bit less expensive than these. Several different varieties. You still need to watch. These can stain, especially the lighter colors. Had a Super Bowl party, dripped some chicken on there, and then I had to work really hard to try to get the stain out. So middle of the road in durability, not elephant stingray and not ostrich or snake. Good looking boot. You can shine these up, go out on the town, go to a gala, take your wife out, or jump on a horse or walk around the ranch. Once again, they can dry out on you. Elephant boots. Elephant boots are probably my favorite skin. They can look good and dressy, but you're never gonna mess them up. You can take it to the corner, you're not gonna mess up that boot. That's a wooden corner, that wooden corner is going to be fine, and your boots are gonna be fine also. You can wear these on the ranch, you can wear these on the horse, you can wear these on town, and because of the patterns, you can get some pretty cool looking colors in the elephant. The textures and the patterns just are my favorite. And lastly, the stingray. A lot of people don't understand the stingray boot. Stingray is the toughest leather that you can possibly get. If you do the same thing with elephant boot, you go to the corner of a wooden table, you're not gonna mess up the boot, but the corner is going to be sawdust. These are really, really tough. Now you've got to keep these conditioned because they can dry out on you, right? Stingray is supposed to be underwater. Use your Big 4 every time you put these on. Make sure that you don't fit them tight because they're not gonna expand to your foot. You cannot mess up stingray boots. You can do whatever you want to with them. That's the toughest boot out there. Also with stingray, you can get some pretty cool colors. Got that one when I graduated Baylor. The jewel of the stingray, you essentially have two different stingrays to make a pair of boots, right? They try to match up the jewel This is actually painted differently. The natural Stingrays don't have this, but they do have the jewel. So you wanna make sure that your jewels match on your Stingray boots. You can see here, every Stingray looks a little bit different, and then the boot makers will actually make that a different color, just so you can see the jewel of the Stingray. We've got bull skins here, which look like elephant, but they're not actually elephant. These were custom made in Louisville, Texas. I own a ranch community development called Legends Texas, and so my buddies put that on these boots when they had them made, so that's the logo. So you can get fancy with the uppers also. Most of the uppers boots are actually goat. So when you get a nicer pair of boots, then it's actually a goat skin, just because a goat holds its shape better and won't flop over on you. So your nicer pair of boots, like these are the Casey's, these are all goat uppers. They're just make a good upper for a boot. When you're talking about the heels, you've got several different heels. This is a roper heel. So this is relatively flat with a very low heel. This is not good for somebody that has a higher arch, but if you don't have much arch, you're gonna find this one to be the most comfortable. The other extreme is the riding heel. So this is the higher heel. Obviously, you slide your foot into the stirrup, that's gonna catch. People with a higher arch will find this better because you actually have more room here for your arch. That's the riding heel. And then the middle is the walking heel. Not as tall and angled as the riding heel, but bigger than the roper heel. This is probably my favorite heel. Question that I get all the time is, what's the entry pair of boots? I like the double H's. You can dress up with these because it doesn't look like a work boot, but it actually is a work boot. So this would be a boot relatively low budget that you can go out on the town, and you can also go out on the ranch. The only bad thing about this one is it's not gonna boot scoot because you got a work sole, right? So another entry level would be just a regular leather roper with leather soles, boot scoot, tear up, whatever, that's your entry level boot. Snake boots. I think these are really important, especially in the spring when the snakes are out and they're trying to find prey. Snakes cannot actually bite through this. This one actually has a zipper, which makes it easier to get your foot in it. Snake boots obviously need to be up really high, so if it doesn't have the zipper, sometimes you've got to really work your foot in there, especially if you have a high arch. These are an important pair of boots, strictly for work. No matter what skin your boots are made of, Bic 4 is necessary. Now, it's supposed to be an exotic, but it's good for anything. First, new pair of boots, make sure you put this on it, but that's gonna help you fit your foot better. It's gonna keep them from drying out. So I literally put this on every boot every time I wear it. It will increase the life of the leather, make sure it doesn't dry out, and it'll also make it fit better. This can also get stains out. Like if you've got some full quill ostrich boots, you're walking across wet water, wet grass, if you get water stains on it, this can actually help. But if this is on the boot to begin with, it's gonna be less likely to stain as well. So just remember, boots aren't boots. There's multiple skins, multiple soles, multiple tops, all to kind of fit your personality, purpose, and how you want it to look. Take that into mind next time you walk into the boot store. Don't be overwhelmed. Take it size by size and skin by skin.